Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're absolutely cracking the code on what is easily one of the most intimidating parts of the IELTS exam, the writing section. We are going to completely demystify this whole process, actually scratch that, we're going to rethink it entirely. We're going to treat it not as some daunting English test, but as a highly strategic 60-minute game. So if you've been feeling overwhelmed or just kind of stuck on your band score, you are in the exact right place. Get ready to master the strategy.
Okay, let's dive into this. Let's be totally honest here. Many people fail IELTS not because their English is bad, but because their strategy is weak. Think about that. It totally shatters this massive myth that holds so many test takers back. You know, you might watch movies without subtitles or write flawless emails at work every single day, but the IELTS writing section, it isn't just measuring how big your vocabulary is, it's actively testing your ability to perform under a strict structure and really intense time pressure.
So, that brings us to the ultimate question, right? How do we actually build a winning strategy? Well, the secret is shifting your mindset right here, right now. You've got to stop worrying about being this perfect Shakespearean writer. Instead, transform yourself into a strategic test taker. Think of the IELTS like a giant puzzle or a game. If you don't know the rules, you're going to lose, even if you're a fantastic player. But once you understand exactly what the examiners want, you can use that knowledge to your absolute advantage.
Let's look at the playing field. Here's the breakdown of your 60-minute time limit. You have two very distinct tasks. Task 1, well, that's your 20-minute sprint. You need to hit at least 150 words. If you're taking the academic version, your job is to describe visual data like a graph or a chart. But for general training, you're writing a letter based on a specific prompt. Then there's Task 2. This one is required for both versions, and it's your 40-minute heavyweight round where you must write a comprehensive 250-word essay.
To the crucial point is this number right here, 2. Why is this specific number so absolutely crucial? Because Task 2 carries exactly twice as many marks as Task 1, literally double. That is a massive strategic clue straight from the makers of the test. It dictates exactly where you should be spending the bulk of your energy. You always want to complete Task 2 carefully because it absolutely decides your final band score for the section. You just cannot afford to let your 20-minute Task 1 sprint ruin your performance in the 40-minute heavyweight bout.
Now, let's back up just a second and look at those two variations of Task 1. It is so vital to know exactly what is expected based on your specific test version. On the academic track, Task 1 requires you to summarize data and highlight trends from a chart, diagram, or map. Listen, you are not being tested on your math skills, you are just accurately reporting the data. For general training, Task 1 asks you to write a letter, and your main job there is recognizing the expected tone from the context clues, whether that means writing very formally to a manager or casually to a friend. If you're on the academic track, here is your strict 4-paragraph structure to conquer that data. Step 1, the introduction. Simply paraphrase the prompt in your own words. Step 2, the overview. This is where you describe the macro trends, like overall increases or decreases. Step 3, body 1. Present specific details for the first half of the data. And finally, Step 4, Body 2. Present the remaining details or comparisons. Examiners absolutely love this specific framework. Notice how it forces your sentences to be clear, neutral, and entirely data-focused. Let's move to and see how this builds for the general training task. It's also a highly structured 4-paragraph framework. You start with an opening that clearly states your exact reason for writing. Body 1 expands on that first point or problem. Body 2 provides your additional details or specific requests. And finally, a closing that ends politely. Remember, your job isn't to invent a tone. It's to recognize it from the prompt. Just that simple awareness of matching your language to the context can instantly lift your writing band score.
Section 2. The Task 2 Heavyweight. 40 minutes, 250 words, double the marks.
Now, to win the game, you need to know exactly how points are scored. Think of this as getting secrets directly from the examiner's desk. Here's the rubric translated into plain English. Task response simply means you fully answered all parts of the question. Coherence and cohesion, that's your logical flow, your smart use of linking words, and clear paragraphing. Lexical resource is basically your vocabulary. Is it varied and accurate? And grammatical range means you're correctly using complex sentence structures. Hit these 4 markers, and you win. To reliably hit those markers, you must be prepared for 4 potential essay styles. You might face an opinion essay, asking if you agree or disagree with a statement. You might get a discussion essay, where you have to explore both views before giving your own. A problem and solution essay, where you identify issues and suggest fixes. Or a double question essay, asking 2 related questions. I know, it sounds like a lot, but here is the big secret. Regardless of the specific type, your approach needs just one reliable, repeatable framework. Enter the bulletproof essay template. Step 1 is your introduction. Paraphrase the question and clearly state your opinion if the prompt asks for it. Step 2 is body paragraph 1. Present your first main point and immediately support it with a specific example or reasoning. Step 3 is body paragraph 2. Present your second point, adding contrast or further evidence. And step 4 is your conclusion. Summarize your key ideas clearly. This exact blueprint automatically ensures you meet that coherence and cohesion scoring criteria we just talked about. It's brilliant.
And this brilliantly illustrates what not to do. To protect your score, you must avoid these fatal pitfalls. Going off topic? Fix it by always restating the question before you even start writing. Using memorized robotic templates? No way. Examiners spot this instantly. Use natural, flexible phrasing instead. Repeating the same idea because you're stuck? Force yourself to develop each point with fresh examples. Ignoring paragraph breaks? Stick to one clear idea per paragraph. And finally, writing under 250 words is a massive penalty. Always aim for 260 to 280 words just to be safe.
Section 3. Building your writing muscle. From test day tactics to daily training. All right, cue the training montage. Here are the 5 actionable daily habits you must adopt to completely transform your fluency and confidence. Number 1, write every day. Yes, even short journal entries or notes totally count. 2, get feedback specifically for clarity, not just grammar. If an AI tool or a friend can't understand your point, the examiner definitely won't either. 3, read sample answers to internalize sentence rhythm and argument flow. 4, master linking words like however, therefore, and moreover. They are literally the glue of your essay. And 5, edit consciously. I know it hurts to cut your own words, but after practicing, always take 5 minutes to remove repetition and polish those transitions. So, let me ask you, are you ready to stop worrying about having absolutely perfect English and start executing a winning strategy? The IELTS isn't some magical measure of your worth. It is simply a game of structure, time management, and clarity. You've got the blueprint now, you know the examiner's rubric, and you have your daily training plan. The 60-minute clock is ticking, so what's going to be your first move?